Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy II. In the last part we got here to Kashuon, and now let's check this place out. The sun flame we need is right there. However, we don't have the egg yield torch yet, so we're gonna need to investigate this place. Thankfully, the goddess spell that we got last part also allows us to access the castle completely.
Why does it still say locked if you unlocked it?
I don't know. That's a weird scripting error. Gordon? Yeah, Gordon from Altea is actually here now. Because this is actually, as you might recall, him and his brother Scott's home. And in terms of HP and MP, he's pathetic. But thankfully, his weapons suck as well. So that's why I've held on to the battle axe, the silver, the silver plates, and the ice spell actually, and the other mithril shield, because this stuff is so much better for him. And you're gonna want to give him the ice spell because it's in this area you can start running into those land turtles and adamantoids as random encounters. So watch out for that.
Lovely. But don't you only get one use of, this, of the ice book?
Yes.
Be resourceful.
But Gordon, well, no, you get as in like I taught him the ice spell. Yeah. Either way, first new enemy for the part is a queen bee. These are actually much earlier game enemies. We were supposed to run into these things around the Semite cave. Rank 1 enemy, 30 HP, can drop 3 to 6 gil. They can drop an antidote and a potion, and their inflicts can poison, though I forget if it's poison or in venom. Not hard at all, honestly, especially when you know how to use Fire 4 and deal a lot of damage to enemies.
That's Fire about. Didn't you say that? Oh, wait, the highest one's 16, right?
Yeah, this is more or less, if I were to make an equivalent to it, roughly,
Well,
I'd say post Castle of not Castle Ordeals, Mount Ordeals, Palom. Or was it
Palom?
Oh, it was Palom. Palom was it? Yeah. I always get those two mixed up, even all these years later.
Man, even I know that stuff. I haven't even played the...
Well, keep in mind, twins have always been a confusing thing for me to grasp in terms of names in games, especially when they're that similar.
Palom's the rude one, and he's salty, too.
Yeah. And yet they made the two of them a town in 13.
Oh, boy.
I spotted that immediately. Then again, I also saw the Lindblom reference coming in that game. And in here we get a cure book. You might want to hold on to that for later, for another character that I could recommend, but I'm not going to. I'm going to sell it eventually. And here I am, inventory management, because I like all my permanent items or not usable items to be at the bottom. In terms of Gordon's stock stuff, just sell it. It's not going to be useful anytime soon. Not even for the next character. That room right there is another one of those ones that is empty, but has a really high encounter rate, so don't go in there. And now we want to head upstairs.
Why are those kinds of arbitrary rooms even in the games? Okay, next enemy is a were-rat. You usually encounter them early game. Rank 2 enemy, 60 HP, dropping 2 to 200 gil, and attacks can poison, of course, since it's a rat.
And their designs were pretty much constant through the series, because you might remember, these guys actually showed up in 6 during the Opera House segment.
I mean, no, they showed up at the very beginning of the game, like, in the Narsh Caves.
Oh, shit, that's right, yeah, they were in Narsh. What am I thinking of? Well, no, actually, weren't they in the Opera House segment as well, summoned by those sewer rat things?
Yeah, vermins, I believe they're called.
Yeah, the vermins,
and
right,
I think they're also, I think there are also sewer rats. I'll be out for a second.
And now I'm by my lonesome. Oh boy, well, just in time for a new enemy, Wraiths. Rank 2 enemies, 60 HP, 25 to 200 gil. They're weak to fire, resist ice, and poison, and I'll bring up why I'm bringing up poison elemental stuff now later. And the only really important thing about them is that their attacks drain HP, so take them out quickly. Life spell or fire is the way to do so, since they're undead.
Oh my god, my family's listening to Donald Trump right now, and I can hear it, and I'm just like, no, stop.
It's sad that guy has a good chance of being the next president. Heck, he might already be by the time this gets uploaded, in which case, why? I hope I didn't just predict the future. Oh, God. Either way, you didn't miss much, just me going over a new enemy.
Well, in all honesty, I'd probably prefer Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton if it was between them. Because I do not trust Hillary.
I don't trust either
trust
of them.
me, I don't trust Donald Trump very much either, but I'd take him over Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, but let's not get into politics too much here. Either way,
Okay,
go
next
ahead.
is an ogre, rank 2 enemy, 100 HP, dropping 50 to 200 gil. They can drop mithril maces, cane weapons, and mithril helms. So if you're looking for those, maybe try grinding them a little bit.
At this point, though, you probably already have had a mithril mace, so it's not really worth going for them. And their cousin, which I just killed, no, actually, no, that was the normal ogre. I always forget which one's which, because usually the ogres are the green ones. Is the wizard ogre. Rank 3 enemy, 140 HP, can only drop 50 gil. However, that's because they have a lot of drops. I'm going to go over their skills first. They can use Blind 4, Blizzard 5, Sleep 4, and Blink 3. And the things they can drop are a Blind Tome, a Sleep Tome, an Ice Tome, a Blink Tome, Hellfire, and a Warp Tome. Hellfire, by the way, is just an item that casts Fire 16.
I was thinking it's like Ifrit.
Sadly, no. Summons aren't until the next game. So if you want any of those spells, this could be a good guy to grind off of, especially if you're playing the later versions. Blink is surprisingly useful. Sleep could be useful as well, but not too much. And we got another one of those land turtles, as I said before. You can run into them as normal enemies around here. Not too hard, but you'll be running into these guys for a while, so get used to them possibly putting you to sleep. In fact, if you can, take them out first. The higher physical attack of the normal ogres is not very much worth sleeping.
I was about to ask, why do they have so many tomes? Then I realized the name is Wizard Ogre.
Yeah, they're not the only enemy like that we'll be seeing this part that drops a lot of tomes. We'll be seeing one in the next, want to say 10 minutes? I forget. And if you haven't noticed, yes, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of the parts in this game are a bit longer than usual because, first off, I hate this game and I want to get it out of the way as soon as possible. And also because, for some reason, when it comes to taking notes, I set very long-term goals. So the parts end up being closer to a half hour in length.
Well, that's basically me during normal footage. Or at least that's how I used to do things.
And mind you, it makes some amount of sense because the dungeons in this game are a lot more in-depth and longer than they were in Final Fantasy I, which were very quick areas. Oh, and in here we get a gold shield, but it's a monster chest against 2 were-rats. Gold shield is a really good shield in terms of evade percentage that it adds, but it has quite a penalty to your intelligence and soul. So you're going to want to give that to Guy if you have him as your physical fighter. In terms of the exact soul penalty, it's about minus 70. So don't give that to your mage characters. Hence why Guy gets it. Yeah, right? Actually, what's been in the gaming news recently? I forget, because we're gonna be obviously having not much to talk about when there's not much enemies going on screen around here.
I can try and look something up, I guess.
It's probably not worth it, because honestly, the Kashuon Castle is not a very interesting area. There's only 2 real places of interest, and that's these 2 treasure rooms. We're going into one of them right now. Oh, and also, I'm now showing off Gordon's stats because I forgot to do that earlier. His HP and MP might start off pathetically low, but his main stats are actually pretty good. They all start at 22. Mithril Axe, Were Cane, and a Mithril Sword. Give that axe to Gordon and that Were Cane to Maria. The Were Cane is a really good cane. Because at this point, it'll pretty much put her up there with Guy in terms of physical attack, because now she can do 30. Now, in terms of what that exactly does, that, let's see, that is the Werebuster in later translations. It's effective against werebeasts. And I think, unlike Final Fantasy I, added effects like that actually work, so yay. Being awfully quiet, Kenny.
Yes. That is because
don't have much to talk about with this game.
Ever since I got it on the on the Portal app, I've just kind of sat there and just like, what do I do? I'm lost.
Yeah. Final Fantasy II, I think, is probably up there with 8 as not very beginner-friendly. And there's a gold armor. It has high defense, but its weight is not worth putting it on. Either way, go ahead, Danny.
Next, enemy is a mine. Rank 3 enemy, 190... I almost said 119 HP. They're weak to fire and lightning, like most bombs. When HP is less than full, it uses explode 500 to 200 damage minus defensive target.
Yeah, I actually managed to find the formula for the explode thing. The way it works is that it's 20 to 40 times the level of the attack minus the defense of the
Where
targets.
does the 20 to 40 come into play? Like which?
That's just the base explosion power. So like level 1 does around 20 to 40 damage.
Aha.
And we got some good stat ups. Gordon is actually one of the first characters you should really care about getting stat ups for, because he's one of the 2 characters that is around a bit.
Apart from Minwoo? Or was Minwoo considered not to be around for that long?
Min doesn't do much in the long run, but Gordon's someone you should care about getting stats for. Either way, we're coming up on the boss, so get the Ancient Sword on God, because you're going to want to get Curse on this thing. It's Red Soul, Guardian of the Aegil Torch. Red Soul sucks. Rank 5 enemy, 540 HP, can drop 12 to 100 gold, can use Fire 8, Ice 8, Bolt 8, and Arrow 8. Interesting little thing about Arrow in this game, by the way, it's not Wind Elemental, it's Poison Elemental. And this thing absorbs almost any kind of magic. Fire, ice, lightning, poison, mind, matter, death, body. The only things that it can't absorb are things like Drain or Osmos. But thankfully support magic like Cure it will not absorb. Best way to go about this fight, have it put Curse on it from the Ancient Sword. And hope it sticks on the first try. In fact, this fight takes a while because Curse just won't stick.
So he's not pathetically easy?
No, actually. In fact, I'll say this. Kashuon is where the game starts to spike a bit in difficulty. Because there's an enemy in the next area, actually, that if you don't get Curse on, he'll deal around 300 to 400 damage with his physical attacks.
Is this a normal enemy or a boss?
It becomes it's a monster in a box. Would you count that as a boss of sorts?
Well, considering Shinryu, sure.
True. Though that enemy will become a normal enemy in the area after next.
It's nice to be reminded of you.
Don't even remind me of Chak. Damn you. I hated her.
Everyone hates you in left.
Yeah, true. Although I really did actually like her fight in 10. Reminded me a lot of the goddess from 6. In fact, I think that was the intention. Actually, wait, yeah. Shit, man. Huh. That makes a lot of sense. But yeah, Red Soul, due to its magic absorbing, you just have to use a lot of physical attacks. Thankfully, Maria just got that Weird Cane, which means she's doing good physical damage. But beyond that, just keep yourself healed. Watch out for its spell count. Which, mind you, actually, the interesting thing about Red Soul is that while it has 4 level 8 type spells, it only has 30 MP, so it can only use spells 3 times before running out of MP. So at that point, it's just going to start physically attacking, and at that point, you can just stay pretty alive, actually. Pretty alive. Yeah, that was good grammar there, Kyle.
So does Curse, like, trivialize the whole game? Like the Blood Sword?
It's a boss destroyer, more or less. One enemies are vulnerable to it, that is.
And then there's the Blood Sword, which is...
Enemies... Oh, I'm gonna love it when I get that later on.
Because, well, I mean, then things won't have to last as long, and then, like, oh boy, like, you'll just be bouncing over the walls about how fun it is destroying enemies that annoy you to death.
Yeah, but the Ancient Sword is gonna be your best way to take about some powerful enemies and some bosses, because lowering pretty much most of the enemy's stats to very good amounts is a really good ability to have. In fact, I'm going to look up exactly what Curse does in 2. All stats on the afflicted target, making them weak and easier to defeat, blah, 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 blah. If you get afflicted with it, you can cure it with a cross or Esena, blah, blah, blah. Either way, nothing too bad. And with that, that fight's over. That took like 2 or 3 minutes, and we're only 15 out of 35 minutes
That was
in.
a pretty fast 15 minutes.
Yeah. Either way, here's the Eggle Torch. We need to get rid of that Sunflame, but now we need to backtrack out and get the Sunflame. So let's cast Exits. Lose most of Furion's HP, 176, down to 11. And heal up because HP is something I'd like to have. And re-enter it. Thankfully, they put this thing in the first room, but new encounter, great.
Okay, Death Angel.
Go ahead,
It's
Jenny.
a type of goblin.
It's a Goblin Prince.
Goblin
in later
Prince, that's
translations.
weird. Rank 1 enemy, 30 HP, 12 to 15 guild, 50 guild dropping. Can use bow 3, same as previous bow type attacks, whatever that means. And a level 4 sleep spell. Can drop a potion, longbow, plus 5 attack, bronze shield, 5% evasion, minus 70 intelligence and soul, or a longsword, 13 attack and 2 plus evade. Yeah.
What's weird is that these guys are really pathetic enemies, but as far as I recall, this is the first area you can encounter them in. Which is really weird because at this point on, most enemies are going to be rank 3 and up, so why have a random rank 1 enemy? That's really odd design. I mean, mind you, Final Fantasy VII's goblins still went down in one shot, and then you couldn't get to them until after you got the airship, so... Either way, let's grab that Sunflame. Use it. To get it, use the Eggle Torch more accurately. So now we have those.
Oh no.
What?
I just learned something about Smash 4.
What?
Dash dancing does indeed exist.
Oh god, no. What? Sid! Sid, what's going on? What's going on up
what
there?
What are you doing?
Propel the catching! Oh.
Really?
Well, that's not good to hear. Either way, south of Kashuon, you might remember, someone said there was a forest that had a very specific chicken in it. So let's enter this place and see what we can find. Nothing. What is that? Ladies and gentlemen, the Chocobo.
Chocobo!
Their first appearance in the series, and, well, more accurately, they are more or less an airship that can only walk on land. You walk faster and you don't get random encounters. And they have a theme that everyone loves, though sadly the second verse wouldn't be introduced until, I think, 3 or 4.
3.
Oh, it's 3? Okay. It's been a while since I played 3.
Hold on. Let me think, because I can usually...
I know 4 had it. I think. It's been a while.
I'm pretty sure it's just in 2 where it's only the first phrase, which saddens me a little bit.
Yeah. Alright, let's head over to Pops, because this is where Sid was. And they're telling us to get to Altea. And as we enter the pub, we can see that Sid isn't here. So that's probably our best bet.
Why are they telling us to go to Altea? This isn't...
Because the airship...
You know what? I make too many Fire Emblem references.
Well, there's a reason for that. In the later versions, PlayStation version onwards, areas like the Altea and Poft, and I think even Palm, have structural damage done by the airship. Either way, talking to the people here, apparently something's happened to the princess. But we now know the warship is north of Finn, so that's good to know. Either way, the airship got on Sid's airship, and the Empire captured her. Great. Just great. Thankfully, now that we know where the warship is, and since we got that pass back at Bofsk, we can actually enter the warship, so that's actually our next destination. So let's head north. Shall we, Kenny?
Yes, we will head north and we will do many things, many good things that need to be done for the society of whatever continent this is.
I'm not even sure if this world has a name.
Probably Gaia.
Either way, there I do some MP grinding, and I actually, from an enemy to the northwest, got a Berserk book. So I taught that to Maria in order to have her start leveling it up. By the way, this is what my spells are looking like now. As you can see, I have 25,000 gold. Anyway, the Berserk spell isn't like a doesn't work like it does in later Final Fantasy games where the character's attack gets leveled up, but that you lose control of them. It's more or less the temper spell from Final Fantasy 1. It just ups your attack on and on until it reaches 255. So yeah.
That makes it pretty broken.
Yeah, it is. It matched with another spell later on, or how you're going to be doing a lot of damage to a lot of bosses.
Well, I mean, I feel like in 9, Berserk was extremely broken, because I was dealing 1,000 damage before the end of Disc 1.
Oof.
Without trance.
Or Grand Dragon farming, I'm assuming.
Yep, that's right.
Ugh. Either way, the walk to the airship is actually really, really hard because you can run into a lot of enemies like mages. Mages are rank 3 enemies, 80 HP, 50 to 50 gil, so they can only drop 50 gil, so they have multiple values of 50 then. They can use Blind 4, Bolt 5, Arrow 5, Fire 5, Ice 5, Berserk 3, and Sleep 4. These are the guys I got the Berserk books from, but they can also drop an Arrow book, a Bolt book, a Fire book, a Stun book, and if you're lucky, a Magic Cane, which is a really good item I'll be getting, I think, in the dungeon after next.
By the way, I'm hoping you added a joke with the next enemy, considering its name.
I did not, sadly. I thought of that when I was getting the enemy notes down. I was like, ah, shit, I should have done that. Either we still have a long way northwest to go. Make sure you don't use much MP at this point.
Okay, next is, oh my god, it's Big Bird! It's Sesame Street. Time to kill. Rank 3 enemy, very simple, 140 HP, dropping 25 to 200 gil.
Yeah, there's not really anything special about these guys. Their name got ridiculous in later translations. It was like Ferranculus or something. In fact, no, Forest Rackus. What? Kind of name is that? I kind of like Big Bird more. Oh, that's why. Forest Rackus was a genus of giant flightless predatory birds that lived in Patagonia. Ah,
Well, that's...
thank you, etymology.
Oh, you just looked it up, I see. Interesting.
Yeah, the Final Fantasy Wiki, which is where I get a lot of the enemy notes, has an etymology things.
Yay.
So, in fact, I can see right now the next enemy is a race of creatures in H.P. Lovecraft's Dreamlands.
Oh, no Kirby.
I haven't played a Kirby game on this channel in a while.
I need to play another Kirby game. That first one was really fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching it. Though, it's always fun hearing you and Noah go off on each other because you guys are weirdly polar opposite but the same. You know what I mean?
I think you'd have to be just a little bit more descriptive.
Yeah, I'm not good with descriptives. My literature teacher knows that a bit too well.
Well, the fact that, like, we're the same, but, I guess polar opposite, like, as in he's more defensive and I'm more offensive in that kind of way, or?
I guess. Either way, next new enemy is a Ghast, rank 3 enemy, 100 HP, 5 to 300 gil, weak to fire, resists ice. They don't drop anything, but they can use Blind 4, and their inflicts can stun, so watch out for that. Other than that, though, they're not too hard. Yeah. Nothing really special about them, really.
You alright there?
Yeah. So it's a bit dry because I didn't bring any water for this, but oh well.
Yeah, I've been getting that for a while for the past few recordings I've done of RPG. Oh shit.
Yeah. Did you just light your house on fire?
Maybe. I might have to get out.
Oh no.
Oh, what?
Either way,
No, it's... Aha! It is like Final Fantasy VI over again, where that kid's house was on fire and Realm was stuck inside.
oh yeah. Either way, welcome to the airship. You do need to use the pass to enter here. Do not talk to these guys. They are more those captains from Finn, and they will kick your ass. Aw, that treasure chest is trapped. Too bad I can walk through walls. And here we get the sleep sword, and you also have to fight Sergeant and 2 soldiers. I think it'd actually be a variable of sergeants and soldiers. Either way, the sleep sword isn't very useful to me. It has a chance of putting enemies to sleep, which could feasibly be useful against an enemy we'll be encountering later on in this area. But to me, nothing too useful. Yeah.
I've got nothing to say. I apologize.
That's just the game.
Not only does my commentary get very loopy when I have nothing to say and too much stuff to go over, I just end up saying the same thing, and then this kind of thing happens where there's this kind of awkward silence.
Yeah, that's Final Fantasy 2 in a nutshell with me. Obviously, I'm tearing this game apart, more or less, but honestly, Final Fantasy 2 doesn't do a lot to interest me. Either way, can it go away with the next enemy?
Next enemy is a oh no! These things. A panther, rank 3 enemy, why do I keep saying 90? 190 HP of dropping 50 to 300 gil. Attacks can inflict poison, not petrify?
Nope, these are not corals. In fact, these things are called were-panthers in later translations. And because of that, the were-Kena Maria does a lot of damage to them. They are not very hard, honestly, but they are one of the harder enemies in this area. In fact, the Kashuon area was a spike in difficulty, but honestly, the Warship is as well. Mainly for the monster in the box I mentioned earlier. Oh, God.
I get very bad flashbacks of both Final Fantasy 12 and Final Fantasy 9 corals when I see those kinds of things.
I actually thought you were about to talk about the airships in 12.
Oh, God.
You know, that's one thing that kind of pisses me off about 10 onwards, is that you don't really get to control an airship much. In fact, usually they just taunt you with them.
Well, I really like how you can get the ultimate bow in the game through a glitch and RNG manipulation, and you can also fight Doomgaze on a ship. Oh,
by the way, there we got the blind bow. It's just a bow that can inflict blind. You all right there, Kenny?
I spilled water on myself.
Oh, no. Either way, there we got some thief gauntlets. They are awesome. They are... well, first off, they give 15 defense and -3 to evade, but they increase your agility by 10. So, they're really good to have on someone who's slow, like Guy. Plus, they add 5% magic defense, and while their intelligent spirit penalty is -40, it's still pretty good. Either way, here's Hilda and Sid. And they're gonna escape off-screen while we go throw the Sun Flame into the engine. Now, the thing is about the Thief Gloves with their +10 agility. I forget if, in the NES version at least, items that give the exact same stat bonus, like if I had two things that gave agility +10, do not stack. You can only have one that works at a time. So sadly, that kind of limits your equipment options, but oh well.
But that's only if they're the same booster?
Yes. Though I forget if it's for the same type in general. Like, I know two +10s won't work together, but I'm not sure if a +10 and like a +20 would work together. I don't think it would. Either way, that's actually our first objective in the Warship done. Now we just have to destroy it. By the way, fun fact, this thing's name in later translations is the Dreadnought. I kind of prefer that.
I actually entered that on Quiz Up. Apparently, I'm top in the state for Final Fantasy questions, which doesn't make any sense because I suck.
I was like number 2 in the state for a while on the Zelda stuff.
Will you fight me on those?
I don't play Quiz Up anymore, mostly because I don't have the app anymore.
Although, the good thing is, I learned many things about tactics, Revenant Wings, unfortunately. I've heard very not good things about that game. And I also learned a lot of things about 13 and 13-2.
Revenant Wings isn't too bad. It's another tactical RPG, so that's a gameplay shift beyond belief. But it's not too bad. I actually like it more than the original Tactics. And I know that's heresy to some people, but oh well. Either way, on this floor is actually where the last treasure of the Dreadnought is. But I'm going to tell you right now, start from the left treasure chest out of the 4, and skip the third one at first. You'll see why in a moment. Either way, here we get a Trident. That's a good upgrade for Fury, and I think it also does extra damage towards aquatic enemies. No, it doesn't. Oh well. We got that thing and a giant helm, which is not very useful. Healing and prepare for the... But you need to heal right now and prepare. Get the Ancient Sword on Guy right now. Because this next enemy sucks. And put Fury and Maria in the back row. Because in here we get the Ice Shield. And we have to fight Gigas.
Oh no, bad Final Fantasy VI
Rank
memories.
5 enemy, 750 HP, 200 400 gil. They can drop a giant helmet and a giant gauntlet, which I'll go over in a moment. But these things have 100 attack. They can do 300 to 400 damage at this point. So get curse on them as soon as you can. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bad time.
Why are you... You know what? I'm not even gonna ask. Because you hate Undertale, and yet you're making so many Sans references. I love it.
Dude, bad time is a meme from a long time ago. That's, like, not South Park, but something.
Well, still. I associate it with Undertale since that's what I just most remember it.
Either way, the giant gloves you can get from this guy give plus 5 attack, plus 10 accuracy, and plus 10 strength, but they're not too worth it. And the giant, as soon as I find the other one, giant's helm gives plus 10 strength. Nothing too useful, though. The ice shield, though, is good.
If they're making you fight that hard of an enemy right now, it better be good.
7% evade, minus 70. I'm looking at something wrong here. Either way, it's really good. It also adds resistance to fire.
Yay for
These guys are really annoying, honestly. And here's the thing: in the next area, as I mentioned earlier, you can run into these guys in groups of 2.
Yeah, get curse ready.
Oh, I hope it doesn't happen. I really hope.
I kind of want to watch you suffer, but at the same time, I really don't want to make you a sad person.
You also don't want to see this game go on for longer than it has to.
Actually, that's true, because I really want you to move on with the series right now. I really want to see what I really want to see is Final Fantasy 3, since that's the
that'll happen eventually, because I've already told you what's next after this.
yeah.
And I know you can't wait for that one either because you love that game to death.
Yeah.
Either way, that's what the other thing we got. The other thing we got from those chests is the Gaussian knife. Hold on to that for later, because that'll come in handy for the next character.
Oh, is that like the main gouge?
It's more or less a shield knife in terms of the way I can describe it, because it boosts your evade. In fact, I've had playthroughs where I put that on Furion with the shield, and he got it close to 99 evade. So that's pretty useful. Either way, Kenny, go ahead for the last enemy.
Alright, final enemy is called a Stunner. Rank 3 enemy, 100 HP, drops 5... Why am I messing up today? 50 to 300 gil, normal attacks can paralyze.
Not very interesting enemy to end the part off on, but, well. Paralysis could potentially be annoying, but honestly, if someone gets inflicted by it, just remove Furion's equipment and use heal. Even then, I don't think their paralysis is a permanent paralysis. I think theirs is just the temporary one. So yeah, not very annoying at all, actually. Though I'd like to notice, we've been very late mentioning this, but they actually changed the battle layout for this game compared to Final Fantasy 1. They brought it to the now classic characters on the right, enemies on the left with a bit of a background. Unlike Final Fantasy 1's menus, and Kenny, you are being silent again.
I'm so sorry, I just can't think of stuff. Anything relevant to this game, I just don't know. If I had played it many times before getting it on the Portal app, where I literally just picked it up and dropped it and just said, nah, I probably would have had more to talk about.
Well, you can just bring up other stuff that's relevant, like if it reminds you of something, or go on tangents, because this is a game I don't mind going on tangents on.
I can understand that.
Though this room right here is pretty simple. It's a maze surrounded by captains.
No.
There's...
Oh, ew! Oh, ew. That's like, hey, Buckethead! Please tell me you remember that.
I'm trying to remember. I just got distracted momentarily. Sorry about that. The main thing about this room is that there's only one path that leads you around all the captains, because you really don't want to fight captains. Even with my stats, they'll kick your ass, so just stay away from them and head into this door for the engine room, which is kind of poorly guarded. And here we can use the sun flame in order to end this. And it's hurled into the engine, and just like that, it's destroyed. Oh, hey, the Dark Knight. Don't think you've won. And apparently, Maria recognizes his voice. Interesting. Either way, let's get out of Dodge.
Unfortunately, I had that little thing spoiled for me. Because
Ooh.
Quizzo.
Ah, well.
I cry.
It's not that big of a plot point. In fact, while Final Fantasy 2 has a plot compared to Final Fantasy 1, it's still not very interesting.
No.
Even Final Fantasy 3. Actually, no, not even Final Fantasy 3 has a good story.
The
Final
first
Fantasy 4
game,
was
the first Final
one.
Fantasy game to have a truly good plot is definitely 4.
Yeah, 4 without a doubt. Mind you, I love 4 to death no matter what, so I will never take any... Well, actually, no, I'll complain about that game's complaints when I have them, but that's very rare. Either way, Sid's airship apparently appears out of nowhere and takes us all the way back to Finn. But with that, we're going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 5, we'll be going back to the HQ and seeing what the hell happened with the princess. See you guys then.
Bye.